Hi, boys and girls. So today, our first video for Hatchet is going to be an introduction to the book. We're going to learn a little bit about Gary Paulson, who is the author of Hatchet, and then a little bit of facts and background on the actual novel itself. So let's take a look. Okay, so Gary Paulson, you can see his picture right there. He is the author of Hatchet. Gary Paulson was born on May 17, 1939. He is an American writer of young adult literature, and he's best known for coming-of-age stories about the wilderness, which is just about what Hatchet is in the wilderness. He is the author of more than 200 books and has written more than 200 magazine articles and short stories, several plays, and all of them were meant for primarily teenagers. Okay, some of the awards that Gary Paulson has won for his writing, one being the Margaret A. Edwards Award, which honors young adult writers, the Regina Medal, which is for people who contribute to children's literature, and then the Jeremiah Ludington Memorial Award, which honors people who contribute to the educational paperback business. Other novels by Gary Paulson. The first one is actually very interesting, Brian's Winter. Now, our main character in the story for Hatchet is Brian. So this is actually a sequel to the Hatchet book. And once we finish reading the novel, we will actually talk more about this, because if you are interested in reading something after Hatchet, if you really like it, this would definitely be a good book for you to read. Brian's Winter, also by Gary Paulson. Some other books by Gary Paulson, you can see we have some 3rd grade level books, 4th grade, 5th grade, and then one 6th grade book here. So we have Night John, Sarnie, A Life to Remembered, Road Trip, Lawn Boy Returns, This Side of Wild, and Woods Runner. So all of these books are by Gary Paulson. So after we read Hatchet, if you really like the way he writes and you enjoy his writing, these could be some books you look into reading over the summer for next year. Okay. So here's a summary of our book that we're going to start. So 13-year-old Brian Robeson is on his way to visit his father on a small plane when the plane crashes in the middle of the wilderness. The only tool he has is a hatchet that his mother gave him and a secret that has been in his head since his mom and dad's divorce. He now has to figure out how to survive long enough for possible rescue. He will have to use his courage and know-how in order to survive. Will Brian make it? We're going to find out. And then last but not least, a couple facts about Hatchet. So although Hatchet is a technical fictional story, many of the experiences in the book came from Gary Paulson's life. They helped him write the novel and create it. So some of those events that happened were similar to what Gary Paulson's experienced. Another one, which I found really interesting, is that Hatchet only took Gary Paulson 4 months to write, whereas most of his other books took him multiple years to actually finish. So this book was a lot easier for him to write and a lot quicker than a lot of his other books that he's written or read. And then the last fact, it was an article online. Hatchet was actually credited with helping a 12-year-old boy who was separated from his family camping, and he ended up using the skills that he had learned from reading the book to survive the 4 days he was alone in the forest. So I thought that was really interesting, that it helped him survive. Okay, so we're going to get started reading our first chapter. I hope you enjoy the book as much as I do. Thanks.